gonna be live.
Okay, so first, Alex, here's the backstory.
I watched the VOD.
Okay, so you already know then, man. I don't give a shit. You're caught
Roll
up.
that character set though.
Yeah, let's.
Who are
Got my book
you?
ready. Let's roll a
It
character.
was a good VOD. I have to say, what was a good show? I think the mayor was my favorite.
The mayor was
He was
fun.
just the fucking stone cold worst.
I can never come back.
He was like a rude Southern Mr. Meeseeks in my mind.
But he doesn't like help.
No, but he just has like a
A
Meeseeksiness
reverse
to him.
Meeseeks.
Yeah, he has a strange honesty.
What was I gonna say? What should I roll first, Doc? And also, I roll 4d6 in this one, right? And then lose the lowest.
Yeah, because we're a little bit super powered. So it's 4d6 and you drop your lowest one. So first off, we're gonna roll your strength. So roll 4d6 and drop your lowest number. Hold on. I'm also get ready for some clicky clacking. I'm gonna type.
My strength is 13. Right?
Nice.
I'm moving in on my DB.
Now roll your con.
Is where I failed.
My con is average. I have 10 con.
Hey, me too.
All right.
Healthy.
Next one is your POW.
My POW is 11.
All right. Next stat is your dex. It's an important one.
The one Alex wanted to be high.
13.
All right, pretty good. Now the most important stat of all, your appearance.
Gotta be hot.
Gotta be hot.
So, I think because currently I'm
not
the
so
face.
hot.
Oh, I'm still the face. Oh no, I'm so dumb.
I have 9 appearance.
You're as ugly as Sam. I
Okay.
think.
No, Sam is
We went
7.
more.
Sam's
Oh, we're down to more.
Sam's real
Sam used to
ugly
be 13.
now. He was a pretty man until he got cut in half
Yep,
by you.
That's his fault. He told me to do it.
I've
I've rationalized it.
All right, next
I'm
is
dumb.
next is your size. It's 2d6 plus 6.
Am I rolling 3d6 and then keeping the highest two?
No, with this one we're just gonna go 2.
Yeah, I just got very
Yeah.
lucky on that roll.
Oh! 18, baby!
Welcome to the Tall Persons Club.
Wow, so you're a gigantic
Just
person.
like me.
What's your
It
con?
was 10. It was 3 sixes. I mean, it was 2 sixes to clarify.
Yeah,
2
that's
sixes.
what I would do.
All right, so you're Yao
Oh,
Ming
you have
basically.
14 hit points.
Sounds good.
Yeah, big boy.
All right, next is your intelligence, which is also
Come
2d6
on,
plus
baby.
6.
This matters. Oh, okay. I'm 13. I'm okay.
Okay, at least you're not dumb, because I'm dumb.
Yeah, 13's pretty
To
good.
not be dumb.
I think it's average, right? It's 1 point higher than average.
Yeah, I think average is 12. All right, so your sanity is your POW times 5.
55.
Cool. What is your strength plus size divided by 2?
Do you mean con?
No
Plus size?
This is for your DB.
No, strength plus size.
But
This
not
this is your
divided by
damage
2, right?
bonus. Oh, you're right. It's just strength plus size.
31.
31. You have 1d4.
So close.
Yep, 32 is, or I guess 33 is where you get the
That's what I
d6. I
got.
think Hugo has 32 total.
No, I have a D6. 'Cause I
Oh,
have
no, you're right.
16
I forgot.
strength,
You're
18
still huge.
size.
Yeah, that's right. Your intelligence. No, hold on. Your idea is intelligence times 5.
So, all you math whizzes out there, is that 75 if it's 5 times 13? Or is that super wrong?
5 times
It's
13.
65. There we go.
Yeah,
Got there.
14 is 70.
Yeah.
That's because I
Yep.
have that. I only know that because I'm one off from you.
Pow times 5 is luck.
That is 55.
Yep. And your no is your education times
We have
5.
not rolled education yet.
Haven't we? Oh.
No, you
I
have
can
not.
roll it. 3d6
Yeah, we did.
plus 3, right?
Oh, it's 3d6 plus 3. Right, I just skipped that. My bad. I just went right into
Oh.
sanity. I got too excited
Oh,
about sanity.
my gosh.
How smart are you?
What?
17.
Oh my gosh.
Wow, you're pretty educated. No, you're like a little bit smart, but you're really
I read
educated.
all the books. There isn't a book that exists.
All right,
50
so-
books that exist in 1890 I've read.
So that times 5 is your no. So what is that? 50, 85?
Jeez.
Oh my god.
You know many
Make a
things.
no check. I don't know how do I fail this.
100.
I mean, that's what happened to me.
We've seen it. We've seen it happen already. 200s in a row, man.
That was brutal.
All right, con plus size divided by
That would be
2.
14.
That's how we're going to get your health. All right, you have 14 health. That's pretty good. Your magic is the same as your POW.
Is 11.
And you already have your sanity, right?
Yeah, it's 55. My luck and my sanity are 55.
Okay. Cool. All right. Then roll a d6 for me real
Let's
fast.
see what I get, baby. 4.
Hold on. Hold on. I took these notes in really bad order. There's pages between them. 4 is glasses that let you see the truth.
Oh. Not the gun.
Them truth glasses.
No, it's not the gun where you have to morally justify your murders.
That's I want that gun so bad.
Pretty cool gun.
No, but like that guy's a bad guy. Like, look, maybe he won't kill someone tonight, but like down the line, he's very angry right now. He could probably kill someone like next week. It's a rough world out there. We should kill him now.
Why'd you kill that kid? Gonna die anyway.
I guess that's true.
Right. So let's see. Where is... Here we go. Multiply your education by 20 and allot those points to the 8 skills listed for your occupation. So you figure out your 8 occupation skills. Education times 20 goes into
I
those.
guess I gotta change. So I had a character in my head, but I guess I have to change it a lot because now I'm so fucking book smart.
Well, see, now
Alright.
we have 2 book smart characters. And so
true.
I'm the one muscle guy. I mean, it
I'm
rounds
big.
out.
I'm big. I'm not weak.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah, he just doesn't have a lot of con.
Well,
That's
yeah,
the
it's-
thing. Is he's
the
big
same
and
amount of
strong.
con
He's
I
just a
have.
little bit. Right. He's just a little frail.
Oh, he's just not as strong.
I'm just a normal human. That's
He has 14
just a
health.
big old normal human.
He's just as beefy as I am. I'm just very slim and built.
Who's the who's the really tall white guy in Space Jam?
Sean Bradley.
Oh,
Sean-
Bradley.
What was I
Sean
gonna say?
Bradley.
So is
That's
it really? Is it really? Oh, I did it super wrong. Never mind. I rolled my. I did my no times 20, not my intelligence, not my education.
Oh yeah, no times 20 is
Oh
a
my
lot
God.
is a lot higher of a number.
So many
Yeah, I know.
skills. Everything.
Just max out these 8 stats, I
Let me
guess.
just max out freaking geology, chemistry.
Oh, and
Archaeology.
I have 40 mythos, right?
Yeah, we
Cthulhu
should.
mythos.
Yeah, 40 mythos.
Our standard cap's at 60. We can't get any higher than that, right?
Yep. You've seen terrible things.
Magic. I'm already down too.
And our credit rating is
What sanity are you at right now? Yeah, credit rating's 5.
That's right. I didn't actually write that.
You know what? It's 6 because you completed your last mission.
Oh, so mine might be 5 then.
Yeah, it's as a group, as
Yeah,
a
like,
whole,
yeah.
the reputation of the
Not
investigators.
as bad as it used to be.
Oh, and the cap is 80
Yeah.
now, not 75, correct?
Yep, you got it.
I watched the VOD.
I appreciate it. You're really saving me a lot of time here.
I don't know if I want to go all in on astronomy or all in on anthropology for
So
no reason.
I have 51 astronomy, so I
Ooh.
don't know if I did all the navigation-y stuff with like astronomy, navigate, and like that's about it. That's all I had the points for. And drive.
I don't think anyone
carriage.
has
No one
chemistry.
That's interesting. I might counter that with just a immense amount of knowledge about photography.
I mean, that actually might be good, because then if people show you fake pictures...
Well, then I can
Yeah.
take them, right? Like, I'll be a
That-
cameraman.
yeah.
Like,
And
Yeah.
you also
1990s
have,
cameraman.
Yeah.
and you have glasses.
Exactly.
That you see the truth. You're like, these are fake.
Oh, that's pretty fucking cool, man.
I like
There you
it.
go.
Photography raptor over here.
How many? I pray and I hope that I don't turn you into a zombie Frankenstein monster as well.
Please no.
Although
It's a really rough way to start what I'm planning on being a
Yeah.
campaign. Just right out the gate, someone gets
well,
murdered.
historically, I always kill Sam's characters session 1. If it's not me, it's you, Patrick.
You know what? That's
You're
true.
running.
Dies.
I killed him in Legend of
A
the Five
lot.
Rings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gets murdered a
That's
lot.
True.
It's
It is
murder.
not his fault.
There's just something about Sam. You want to kill him. I don't know what it
He
is.
just puts themselves in these situations, and you're like, well, I guess I gotta put him down. He's a rabid man.
I think it's more like he just interacts with crazy
Well,
people.
like his reaction to "I'm gonna kill you" is "fucking do it." It's right there. You're like,
What an unfortunate 100. That's so
oh, he doesn't
bad.
have to come up again. And, I'm excited yet terrified.
I'm hoping you two are less murdery to each
And then
other.
it's intelligence times 10.
Yep, for whatever else you want. Including, like, guns and stuff, if you want to do that. Ooh, is that what I'm looking for? No. Oh, I did find my list of magic books, though. That's nice. Wow, most of these are written in English. This is what I'm looking for. Cool.
Ugh. Oh yeah, Gen Con this year's gonna
What?
be great.
I'm excited.
We're
There's nothing like buying your ticket to an event 8
8
months
months
in advance.
Put it calling off your pay time off 8 months in advance.
Also,
we
knowing
got-
that if you don't buy it 8 months in advance,
That's-
it might sell out.
Yeah, it might sell. Although
Yeah.
we got even I would have thought we were not. I think it's maybe because it's 51 and not 50 this year, so people are like maybe like taking their time this time, which I hope they do. Keep doing that, please, so that I can actually go to events this year.
I want to play more D&D on the football
That's-
field. That was like
Yeah,
the highlight for me.
Yeah, we should definitely try and do more of those.
For Madden.
But yeah,
For
we're
Madden.
in the convention center this year.
Oh, that is the best. I can just like take a shit in the middle
That's
of
what
the
I'm
day.
saying. Like, you don't have to, like, that's the worst part about the con is, like, you know, day 2, have to go to the bathroom in any regard,
Yeah.
even just to, like, pee.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah,
like a
'cause, like,
nightmare.
Because last year we had to walk
Yeah.
4 blocks. Now we have.
I mean, it's like, you know, it's like a 15 or 20 minute walk. Like, in real life, that's not that bad. But when you want to take a shit, you're gone for an hour.
Now it's like, I'll just go back to my hotel room. That's 2 minutes away.
Oh, it's going to be amazing.
I'll just wake up later. It's fine. I can get there in time.
Yeah. That's also super nice, is we can just wake up
I'm
whenever
still probably
we
gonna
want
wake
to.
up like at 8. It's fine.
I mean, yeah, there's always shit going on, but
But I don't have to be like, oh, I gotta get out. I wake up at sign up for like an 8:30 event. Wake up at 7. I could wake up like at 8:15 and just roll in my pajamas.
or if we do a late night event, we can just walk back real easy too.
That's great.
Parking might be the only thing I'm concerned about.
Yeah, we'll have to figure that out when we're there.
All right, I'm all good. I'm all
We ready to go?
Oh yeah.
All right. Wait, you need a gun.
So I have 50
If you want one.
gun. What handgun am I allowed to have?
Okay.
That's right.
You can have a. Make sure that that's acceptable. You can have a 41 revolver.
Is there like a 35?
Staring down the
There
barrel.
is- There's a 32.
45 should have been out by now. The Widowmaker revolver should have been built by then. Oh, those were rare.
The Colt 45 is out.
That's such a
If you want
ridiculously
that.
big gun. That is
I
like
mean,
It's pretty
it's
big.
intense.
you're so big that, truth be
Yes.
told, a rifle.
That's actually a great point. I'm like 6'9". That gun is not that big anymore.
Yeah,
Give me that Colt
yeah.
45.
That's
Yeah,
true.
Like, I'm
Yeah, alright. It's 1d10 plus
I'm
2.
holding a
That's like me
Winchester
holding a
rifle.
9mm. Like
Yeah, I'm
hammer
holding
to
a-
a 9mm,
yeah.
a Colt 45. Like you guys are big
Yeah.
on me.
Yeah, I'm using my Winchester.
Yeah, it's true.
rifle
It's just gonna look like a regular
like a
gun.
regular gun.
So does it have the same accuracy as like 20%? Is it like a normal handgun? And
Yeah.
it's- You said 1d10 plus 2? What's that?
Plus 2.
malfunction?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
100.
Yeah,
Sounds
that's
good.
Like, yeah, the Winchester rifle is just as good too. It's the bolt action rifle.
Let's
It's
make sure. I'm
99.
almost certain you're right, Hugo. Yep,
Yeah.
99. So,
once
2%
it becomes
chance to
auto,
malfunction.
That's when there's a higher percentage there.
Well, then like
Yeah.
Lugers and stuff like
Yeah,
that.
Derringers.
Yeah. I mean, you guys basically have like the two
Flintlock-
best
any
guns made at the
flintlock
time.
Weapon has like a 80, I think, maybe 85.
Mauser was really good. It
Yeah,
was just
those
German.
things are.
All right.
Anyway, so I'm Macaulay Ravenstone, and I'm a professional
Macaulay Ravenstone.
photographer. I'm a
I like it. Slash
Black
Monster Hunter.
No one needs to know that though.
That's on the depot.
Right.
I'm a very what's it? I'm a very like casual or like unassuming 6'9". Like I'm very tall, but no one notices until they're close to me because I just dress.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of dress like someone who has at a funeral procession. Like I dress in all black. I kind of have the little butler thing.
Okay.
I'm very
A
concave.
cummerbund.
Yeah, very concave cheeks. I kind of look like the farmer from Babe, Pig in the City, but a little younger,
Oh.
28-year-old guy.
Okay.
Already,
All right.
already in my head. I guess I didn't really describe my, because I'm a 12 appearance. So I'm like pretty good looking.
And I have just a very large top hat that is just super dusty. And
Yeah.
I won't acknowledge it. It's dusty. It's super dusty, and it's obviously so it's like very tall guy and then tall top hat, and there's just nicks all right here from how many times I've hit like a ceiling or something with my hat. I won't get a smaller hat. I refuse.
Okay.
At
All
this
right.
point, like, I just have like how long has it been since Sam's been? I'm assuming at this point, Sam's character is being built by
So
in-house
here's what's happening
doctors.
now. So after murdering Sam in just a brutal way, you pack him up and you bring him back to HQ, where you work with a handful of other hunters, but the more magically inclined
The
ones.
smart ones.
And
We have the hat.
right, they say they can
We
rebuild
have the
him.
hat.
Yeah, they can rebuild him, but first, the only expert who exists lives in Louisiana, so you have to send them off to her so she can basically use voodoo to build him from the ground up with the bits that you saved. So right now he's being rebuilt in
And his
Louisiana.
soul is like in some other container that's not my lamp.
His soul, you've bound his soul not into his body but near his
around.
body. So it's not going to go anywhere. It's going to follow, and it'll be easy to draw
Okay.
back in. So about a week has passed. You've gone through some pretty intense therapy, Hugo. The in-house therapist has, wasn't your fault.
He made you do it.
You were under a spell. He told you to do it. And you ended up killing the witch anyway. Plus, he's gonna be basically fine. Like, it's not a big deal. As long as you don't murder him again. So, you regained a lot of that stamina. And then Alex, Macaulay comes walking in with an urgent telegram from Gatlinburg, Tennessee. Please, we need your help. Stop. Livestock has gone missing. Mutilated. Stop. Recently, men have gone missing and been mutilated too. Stop. You're our only hope. Stop.
Well, what you make of this, Mr. Powers?
Well, I reckon someone needs our help. We gotta go. I mean, that's my job.
Yep, that's true. Definitely your occupation.
Yep.
All right, so their livestock is in trouble. So I will send back
reply.
a telegram. So
Saying
need
you're on
not
your
worry.
way?
Stop. What's the name of our organization again?
Do we? I don't think we ever named it.
You're the Paranormal Investigative Society.
Paranormal Investigative Society is on its way. Stop.
Pace is on the way.
Be there in
Yep.
I don't know X amount of time that we'll be there by. Stop.
Blork and Blork time.
By the power
Like a
of the
week.
plot, we will be there.
Yeah.
It
Nothing's
won't
gonna
be a
happen on
week,
your way there.
But in reality, it's like several seconds.
Nothing happened.
As you roll up to the town.
Segway.
So you roll up to the town and you see a group of women waiting for you, like obviously waiting for you to show up. They look nervous and uncomfortable, and they don't want to approach you, but clearly they're desperate enough that they're going to because they don't trust you because you work with evil things. Are you the paranormal fellas?
Ma'am, yes, we are.
I hate that it's come to this, but I think we need your help.
Seems to be that way. I heard your livestock's in trouble.
Yeah, a couple weeks ago, sheep started disappearing, and
I got like a notebook.
then sheep started showing up mauled to death, like some kind of creature got them, and we started putting our men out to guard them at night. We thought it was just coyotes or wolves, or I'm not sure what, but there's all sort of thing in the mountain there, and but then they started showing up dead too, and we don't know what's going on.
Huh. Well, would you mind if we could talk to someone who's in charge? So is it happening on a specific ranch, or is it happening all around the town?
No, it's all over
All
town.
around town?
It's closer to the mountains than anywhere, but really it's everywhere.
So who's your town's head honcho?
I guess the sheriff does most of it. Our mayor doesn't do too much.
Well, would any of you kind women like to fix me and my friend Mr. Powers over here a steak and a big old cup of milk?
Well, I mean, our livestock is sort of dying, so
Ma'am?
a little short on food and milk.
Ma'am, I have my deepest sympathies. But I can't work unless I have a big old cup of milk and a steak before I do it. I'm a big boy, 6'9", 235, and I can't get to focusing if I don't eat.
He's a grown boy.
Wow, yeah, I guess you are really tall. I didn't notice that.
Next to this equally tall guy.
Yeah, in relation to Mr. Powers, I seem average height, but in reality, I am quite large.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess, yeah, we can make you a steak if that's what it takes. Sure. And then
Game thing. No
she goes into her
problem with
house and you
happening.
start
I'm
to hear
just gonna
cooking.
make everyone feed me
Yeah.
steak and milk before I do anything. For no reason.
And it won't work. Can't you don't get me milk? I don't care where from. This is cow's milk, lady milk. I don't care as long as it's milk.
Doesn't matter how urgent it is, everything could be burning. Macaulay Ravenstone does not do anything before he has a cup of milk and a steak.
It doesn't have to be just steak either. It's just
Alright.
steak. What if it's like not a steak of meat? What if it's like a wooden steak?
No, that's a different kind. I mean the STEAK kind of steak.
Not a hominin.
Alright, so she comes back in like 15 or 20 minutes, and she serves you this kind of, I don't know, it's like a weird, not great looking cup of milk. It's a little yellow,
All your condiments.
raw looking, and just a gross piece of steak. It's been cooked to death.
Give me
Well,
all your condiments.
that's for the best, really. Like, I don't want to eat like raw creamy steak. I'd rather eat like definitely no bugs in it creamy steak.
Yeah. Just burnt, just charred.
Yeah.
Well
There's no
done.
parasites in
Well
this
done.
one.
Just seared, burned.
Yeah.
And whatchamacallit, Powers has a steak too, right?
I didn't ask for one, but
Yeah,
sure, they gave me
steak
one.
for both of you. Yeah, they're hospitable people. This is South.
Mr. Powers, would you mind taking a sip of that milk?
To test it,
I mean, you know.
I take a sip of the milk.
All right, roll your luck.
Oh. I see what it is. I mean, here's the thing, Alex. I'm too stupid to lose.
Well, yeah. See, well, like the thing is, he would do it anyway.
I would do it. I would have, like, no questions. Just tried it. Alright, I got an 8.
All right, everything's fine. It's good
Well,
milk. Tastes
might
good.
as well drink.
It's kind
it,
of
seems
warm,
good.
but it's good milk. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'm just doing some test rolls after.
It's just real
Oh,
fresh
okay, so
milk.
I don't have to roll luck check. Okay.
Well, I have
No.
a 70
I was
luck
so worried
anyway,
that his
so...
was fine and mine wasn't.
No, both your milk's good.
All
Think
right,
of
so
the
we
big
eat.
cow.
So, but yeah, so while you're eating, the sheriff walks up. He's kind of like if Foghorn Leghorn was a human person. Even like bobs his head while he
So,
walks
is he,
as
like,
if he
really
were
fat,
some kind of bird.
Obviously skinny-legged.
Yeah, he's real fat, but his limbs are real skinny. He's got just a big old cigar in his mouth.
Kelly's a sheriff, right?
He's got the big badge right on his chest.
When I see him like approach me, I'm a gentleman, so I stand up like immediately to greet him.
I do not do that. I'm...
Oh my, I believe in the South we only stand to greet women. What are you saying about me there, son?
I mean nothing by it, sir. I was just trying to do you the
I know you don't. I'm just giving you shit, you tall skeletal monster.
well.
Why is everyone
Alright.
so mean?
I don't really understand the
Man, having
culture
6
here. I
credit
guess.
rating sucks.
He's gonna give you like way too hard a pat on the back as if it were friendly, but it also kind of hurts. It's okay, boy. Don't you worry now. We appreciate you coming down here. Well, we're losing a lot of good people and a lot more good animals.
When did you start losing these
And
animals?
now you talk. Well, I don't know what these women told you, but first there was missing, then there was mutilated, and then we had the men watch them, and then the men was mutilated. Seems like what happened to the men was a lot worse than what happened to the animal, though. Animal got eaten, man just got murdered.
Where do you remember the place where the man was mutilated?
Mostly it's by the farms near the mountain, you see. And he points over his shoulder, and you can just see the Appalachian Mountains rising right behind you. This town is like right at the foot of the Appalachian Mountain Range. Every landowning man around them seems to get it worse. No one died on the other side of town so far. It's just them. That's when we started thinking it was something suspicious, something maybe coming from the mountain. We thought it was a puma, but we ain't seen no puma in a while. Maybe it was a bear. but I ain't seen no bear either.
That's quite curious, sir. Not to be uncouth, but did you by chance keep any of the bodies or examine them?
No, we buried them. We give them good Christian burials.
Huh. Well, that is definitely the right thing to do morally.
Doesn't really help
I
us.
agree. We don't partake in your satanic dismantling of the dead. It don't sit right with us.
Sir, I did not imply anything of the nature. I was just merely checking the state of their, their remains.
I think we got the Jenkins man. He not quite on the ground yet. You might be able to find him at the church. They're doing a ceremony right now for him. He died last night.
I don't want to yet again do any disrespect, but would you perhaps mind if I took a photograph of Mr. Jenkins?
Well, no, that might be a nice thing. You know, a lot of people around here like to take pictures of their dead, hang them up like they were alive, remember them. I don't like it. People like it. It's a thing.
Well, I will let you know, Sheriff, that I graduated from Yale, and I have a degree in photography.
Oh, well, la-dee-da, Mr. East Coast over here. I bet you've seen a big old city and buildings made of stone.
I mean no respect no disrespect at all. I'm just merely commenting on my proficiencies.
You know what? I'm glad I don't like you. Yeah, I made the right choice.
Well, sir, I'm just awestruck by your malice. I have done nothing in any regard to warrant such harsh words. All I came was to help. All I said is I'm going to help. I just think we're on a common ground. I think there's just a misunderstanding.
Now look, you know what? Goddamn, we asked for your help, but it just feels wrong. I know you're evil. I know. Oh, guys, making a deal with the devil over here.
Sir, I will remind you. I could walk away right now, if you want me to. If you don't want me to help you, I'll just go ahead and wrap up this here milk and steak and just be on our way.
God damn it, look at how big your legs are, man. You take one step, you walk right out the state. That was the joke about your weird body, son. That's what that joke was about.
I like kind of get next to Hugo and do
this. It looks to me
thing.
like you're a tiny little man. Never done grown up. Little baby legs you got there, sir. Waddling around your big, bulbous baby body.
Mr. Powers, there's no need
I don't know what
kind of insults. Look here, gentlemen.
I chug my milk and walk away.
I feel that...
As I do it, I'm just like making eye contact. Power move.
Satan sure do make him tall and skinny, don't he?
Look, Sheriff, I deeply apologize. I feel we are just on the wrong foot. You know what? I think could do us both some good
is scream like you can hear me like in the distance going like, my friend died.
Look, he's just been through some trauma. You know what? It's not how it seems. We're really good people. We're here with good intentions. We appreciate your hospitality. Can I roll a persuade check to like make him feel more comforted by our presence?
Sure.
$22 out of 60.
All right, he feels better. He's like, all right. Now maybe I overreacted. Just you gotta understand that your profession makes me uncomfortable. Everything about this situation makes me uncomfortable. I'm sorry. Maybe I took it out on you, and I should not have. I appreciate you taking your time and you're risking your body and your soul to help out strangers.
All right. Well, where in relation to us is Mr. Jenkins's body, so in which I can get prepared to do some photography.
Well, right now he is in the church. It's a closed casket affair. He is not in good condition. I tell you that. They're doing the ceremony might be wrapping up right now. You got to talk to the widow Jenkins, though. She is in charge of what happens to his remains.
That sounds fair. I appreciate all your help, Mr. Sheriff.
You're welcome. You can tell her that I gave it my all clear, though. If she gives you trouble, you can. You got my support on this. I don't want to see no more people die for no reason.
That is reasonable. All right, so I'm gonna go over to Mr. Powers. Mr. Powers, and since I'm kind of gangly, when I run, it kind of looks just really unnatural. It's like my hands kind of wave weird like this, and my knees are like a little too high, and they're already long. My legs are already. It kind of looks like if like a giant like. Some bipedal grasshopper was like running, like very, very flappy, but yet like very, very like choppy.
Right. Okay.
So I'm like running like this, Mr. Powers. Look, I understand that you lost a good friend and a good partner. However, he ain't lost for good.
He did all the talking.
What?
I can't deal with these people.
Look, Mr. Powers, I want you to look in that big heart of yours. That big, I would assume, 10.5-pound heart because you're of your size. And I want you to find compassion for these people. They're just like you. They lost someone they love, Mr. Powers. And goats that they maybe made love to. Who knows? I mean, sorry,
fine.
sheep.
Fine.
Sheep are far more attractive than goats.
Let's go talk to the people and see if we can get them to leave that casket so we can take a look and see.
Yeah, I have a hot lead on Mrs. Jenkins to perhaps give us time so I can do my photography. I'm gonna keep saying it weirder and weirder every time I say it.
All right, I'm gonna go off into the distance. So I have a quick question about my magic points. Did I regain those?
Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Yes, you're at full magic
really
again.
Spent from that last session.
Yeah, but between sessions, you'll almost always regain.
I'm
your magic
gonna go
points.
off into the distance, closer to the mountains, just where no one can see me. I'm gonna talk to my grandpa.
All right.
Jonathan Flowers.
Woo! Is there the gold? We got gold. I see mountains and we going for gold.
Grandpa. I don't know. Is there gold around here?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I live in a lamp.
I figured you would know.
I don't even live. I'm a ghost in a lamp. Existence is pain.
What does ghost say about what's about here? Like, a lot of things be dying. Like, what do you know?
Ooh, hold on, let me find out. Let me listen now. There's something. There's a curse. It's in me. The curse. It's a curse. It's a cursed thing. It's all I got. I can't tell you anymore. I don't know.
Okay, it's all right, Grandpa. It's all right. It's okay.
Is there gold?
I keep like some gold on me and like a small gold coin. Like, hey, gold, Grandpa, gold.
Oh, gold! This is what I'm here for. Ooh, give me that gold. Oh no, I can't grab it. My hands don't exist in your reality.
He just disappeared. Like,
oh, it hurts.
I walk back. I look back. Oh, Mr. Raven. Mr. Raven.
Oh, roll your luck, Hugo.
Oh shit. Hang on. Like that. I never liked that. Okay. 19. So I'm made it. Okay,
Yeah, no one saw.
fantastic. Mr. Ravensville,
Yes, sir.
look, I believe this place is cursed.
Now, what will give you that that feeling, or that observation, Mister?
It's let's just say it runs in the family.
Curses?
No, just a hunch, just a hunch I have from the family. Wink, wink. And then I point, and then I tap on the lantern at my hip.
I have no idea in which you
Oh, do
are
we not know
referencing
what
to.
our relics are?
No, I mean, you guys have been working together for a while. It just doesn't mean he gets what you're talking about. But he knows you have a magic lamp that has your
Oh,
grandpa
okay. I
in
just
it.
thought we weren't partners before. I thought him and Sam's character were partners, so I didn't know if we had a rapport.
We're the founding members.
Basically, everyone in the society knows everyone in the society.
Yeah, it's me and Sam were the founding members.
You just don't always work together.
It cut
Right. Yeah, you get sent off to different missions around the country.
Oh, so you talked to your grandpa?
Yeah. He thinks there be a cursed here, either a curse or a cursed animal, a cursed being, some sort of curse.
Intriguing.
I don't know much about that.
I know a lot about a decent amount, but not a whole lot about a cult. But I would like to have a larger sample size, perhaps, before I start jumping to conclusions.
That's fine. I understand. I
Let's
don't know
talk
much about that.
Let's talk to Miss Jenkins. She's in the church, and the procession is about to end. And I feel it would be in our best interest to take some photographer photos of the dead Mr. Jenkins.
The way you say photography. Photographer. All right. So you guys go to the church?
Yes.
All right. As you actually hold on, roll your no checks.
boy.
Oh, that's not good for me.
64 out of 85.
What do I know?
Cool.
What do I know? 88 nothing. Out of 45.
All right. So as you're walking in, Alex, you realize that you probably have a handful of unholy objects on your body that you should take off before you enter the church.
What are
Hugo, you do not realize this.
said unholy artifacts?
So your glasses that can see truth are an unholy object. Really, anything magical is an unholy object.
Lantern.
Generally, you carry around books
So what was I gonna say? So,
of the occult.
so since I know this, what would be the issue there? Would they know, or could God smite me?
The unholy objects themselves would then become aware that they were on sacred ground, and would start behaving erratically and would have the chance of destroying themselves.
Mr. Powers, before we enter, I feel that we should relieve ourselves of certain items we have brought along with us.
What you mean?
So, would you mind walking a little bit away from the church while we have this conversation?
Okay. Yeah, but I thought we were
Powers.
going to take photography.
Yeah, we're gonna do that. Don't worry about that. We're good. We're gonna take some great, excellent photographer photos of the late Mr. Jenkins. However, it's come to my attention that if we have unholy objects on us, we cannot enter a church without a debacle. So, Mr. Powers, what would you recommend we do with our holy items? Do you think unholy?
Well,
holy items.
I would say, I could wait in the cart.
How about you just wait outside the church? You just never go in. I go in. You just keep them safe. You're a big, strong man. I have faith in you. You're loyal. So I'm just going to hand you my objects, and then I'm going to proceed to go into the church, and I think it will go swimmingly.
All right, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna be holding these things just
just like armful
this.
of books and magic things.
Just outside.
Yeah.
Mr. Okay, fine. You know what? Just fine. You know what? That's fine.
His long, gangly arms full of magical items. I like it.
So I enter the church.
Right. You see the widow is sitting next to the casket, weeping somewhat heavily, and there's a handful of people sitting in the pews, but it seems to be clearing out. It seems like most people have already gone and said their goodbyes.
So I will make a steady but very beelined walk towards Miss Jenkins.
All right. She doesn't really seem to notice you. She's just crying.
So I'm like next to her.
Yeah.
I go, Mrs. Jenkins?
Oh my God, you're tall!
Why, yes. The Lord has blessed me with height. That is for sure. And I'm also fairly knowledgeable.
Did you know my husband?
Tell you, Miss Jenkins, I bet he was a phenomenal man, but I have never made his acquaintance. I was informed that your late husband met an unfortunate end, so I am here in which to investigate to perhaps give you closure on what happened to your dear husband.
Oh God, he was guarding the sheep, and then I woke up, and he was like this. He's all mauled.
So, I want to, may I ask where you found him? If it is too much, you do not have to say.
He was outside near where the sheep are. And he's dead.
What was your husband's profession? Was he a strong man?
He was very strong. He was a farmer and a rancher, and he worked all day with his hands. How is this helping?
I'm just trying to understand what could perhaps have done this crime. Look, you need not say too much more, Miss Jenkins. I'm just going to ask you a question. And it's going to seem perhaps a little soon, but it could be fruitful for both you and everyone affected by this calamity. Would you mind if I took several photos using my photography skills of your husband? Can I roll a persuade check for this?
Sure.
32 out of 60.
Nice. I would really like that, actually. His face is still in pretty good shape, as long as you would give me a picture of his face.
Oh.
But his insides are all on the outside, and I don't want that picture.
Miss Jenkins, would you mind if I could even, since I have the skill and the proficiencies, I could give you, it might be, posthumous, but I could rearrange his face to a more pleasant-like position. I can give you a very nice photo of his face. Would you appreciate that?
I would really appreciate that. That sounds really nice.
You're welcome. You know what, Miss Jenkins? I'm going to put, I'm not going to put my hand on her, but I'm going to hover my hand over her shoulder. I'm going to be like, Miss Jenkins, I'm going to do my best to get to the bottom of this.
Thank you. I don't care what the sheriff says. You're a good person.
Oh, why, thank you. I very much appreciate that.
Alright, so you set up your elaborate 1890s camera where you have to keep the lens exposed for like a minute.
Yeah. Can I roll my art check to make his face look better for Mrs. Jenkins' specific photo?
Yep.
52 out of 61. Got
There you
61
go.
in art.
You make his face look, it's not great, but it's good enough, It's not like super high resolution picture anyway.
So I first take the photo for like Miss Jenkins, and then I'm gonna take a lot of photos of like his insides and stuff like that to get a better grasp on what's going on.
Okay. While you're taking the pictures, you see that he has these long, deep gouges, like from claws going across his chest. And around his gut, he's just been completely ripped open. Everything is exposed to the world.
I'm gonna roll an occult roll because I feel like out of game I might know what this is, but I want to see if my character knows what this is.
Okay.
45 out of 55. Is this the Chupacabra? Is this very similar to Chupacabra stuff?
It's reminiscent of the Chupacabra. It has Chupacabra-ish elements, but the Chupacabra tends to live much more south. It's more a Puerto Rico, Latin America monster.
Is it a Wendigo?
It doesn't seem to be a Wendigo because there don't seem to be any organs missing. And Wendigo, as the creation of cannibalism, always engages then in cannibalism. As far as you can tell, this guy's just been murdered by some kind of animal, but the claws seem too big and it seems too precise. A normal animal would have murdered him and then eaten part of him.
They ain't turning, so it's not werewolves either. So I don't really...
Yeah, there's no...
I really can't... So I can't really like, oh, this is a blah, blah, blah. I'm more like, it's not these things.
Wait, hold on, sorry. You're just like, I don't... it's kind of like a Chupacabra, but I don't think it is. It's kind of like a Wendigo, but I don't think it is. But it is... You can tell that it is somewhat a supernatural thing. This is not a normal animal killing, and it's not a normal human killing.
So I take my photos. I put the more horrifying photos in a bigger pocket, and I put the individual portrait in one pocket so that I don't be like, oh, here's your geez,
here are all the horrifying pictures of your dead husband.
And then I close the casket. I put everything back together.
Okay.
Oh, can I?
And do you give her the nice picture?
Since I'm kind of a chemist, because I have to develop my photos. Is there anything I can do with chemistry, what's that called? The new Sleepy Hollow. Who's that director? What's his name? Edward Scissorhands.
Oh.
Burton.
Tim Burton.
Tim Burton. In a Tim Burton Sleepy Hollow style, pour chemicals on it and be like, oh, of course, this is a stab wound. Oh, of course, this is.
You absolutely can try to make that roll. But first you have to get a piece of him and get it back to your carriage where you can then perform those experiments. So do you have sleight of hand?
I feel like I know better than to try and do such a thing. If I'm aware that I have to okay, so I'll close it up and I'll talk to the sheriff and maybe I can swing that. But yeah,
okay.
I won't just grab a chunk of human.
Stick it in a jar.
So I'm gonna walk out and I'm gonna kind of relay everything I found to Mr. Powers here.
Okay. As you walk out, you see that the sheriff is chit-chatting with Mr. Powers, asking him about all the things he's holding. Wow, Mr. Powers, you got a pile of books and glasses on you. What those books? Now knew you were fancy East Coast boys with all your Yale learning, but them books don't look like they're bound into the natural.
What now?
Well,
these are very reputable books from the East Coast.
Well, you're just gonna rub it in.
I don't know. I did not go to school. I grew up down in Omaha way. I was just a cattle rancher. Know a lot about rearing cattle and animals, but I don't know much about books. I'm just holding these books as I was told to hold these books.
Good man. I like that. How about you, Raven something or other? What's with all these fancy books? Why are you making your associate hold them outside of church?
Oh, well, it's just one of those things where I would like to be less encumbered when going into a religious place. You don't want too many things on you because don't worship any false idols. Don't have too much on you. And that's just kind of what I felt like. Mr. Sheriff, I have some very gruesome yet informative photos to show you. Would you like to take a peek-see-loo?
Well, I won't like to, but son, I guess it's my job, though. You don't run for this election to not look at dead people. I suppose sometimes you gotta kill them, sometimes you gotta look at them when they're dead.
All right, so here you go. I just handed him all the photos.
All right, you see him looking through them in growing horror, but also confusion. What? I gotta tell you, it just looks like a bear did this. Looks like he just got killed by a bear. Maybe one of them pumas.
Well, from what you can see from my photographer, that perhaps I don't think it's anything like that. We're going to do some more thorough investigation, but before I do so, I would like to ask you, Sheriff, if I may, could I... There's no kind way of putting this, but I'm going to need a portion of Mr. Jenkins' body in which to dig a little deeper, both literally and metaphorically.
A portion of a dead man's body? What are you gonna do with it, you sick son of a bitch?
Well, Sheriff, it is not as I know it sounds very grievous of me and gruesome and disrespectful of Mr. Jenkins. However, I have to inform you, it is pinnacle. It is important that I have a piece of his body so I can run my experiments on him, so I can figure out who done did it. Maybe it was a bear. Maybe it was a puma. Who knows? Maybe it was something else. To get to the bottom of this, we have to. It's desperate times calls for desperate measures, Sheriff.
Oh, God dang. Well, I don't like that, but I suppose you're right. Jenkins was a good man. I don't want any more good men to die. Plus, I'll be honest, we're about to go starve if we lose any more livestock. Let me go talk to the widow Jenkins real fast.
Before you talk to her,
let me clear it up.
To give her. Could you please give her this photo of her late husband, Mr. Jenkins?
Yeah, I can do that. That's a real nice thing. Yeah, of course. Yeah, okay. Maybe I don't hate you. I don't know. He just mumbles his way into the church. Getting less and less articulate. You see him kneel down next to the widow, and he hands her the photograph and points at you, and then he starts to explain something, and she seems confused and upset for a second, but then she looks at you and kind of begrudgingly is like, you know what? Okay. I guess I trust him. Sure, whatever. We just have to find out what happened to my husband. So you get the green light to take a piece of
so
them.
Mr. Powers, I will hold the objects. You are a far better carver, from what I've heard with your machete. Would you mind taking a nice piece from the innards of the late Mr. Jenkins?
All right, I just start walking into the church.
Wait, no, Mr. Powers, please.
What?
Dude, hand me over the items you were holding.
Because I'm still holding them. And I hand into him.
Thank you. I really appreciate the effort you're putting into both holding the objects and also doing a slightly gruesome act.
All right, I start walking into the church.
Okay. You've successfully handed over all of your unholy items as you cross onto hallowed ground. So you pull out your machete to respectfully take a piece of this guy.
It turns into that Red Dead Revolver Redemption thing where it's blood. Alright, what am I doing?
So what would an applicable skill be for this? Trying to do this
I'm not
respectfully.
Rolls his machete, right?
sure.
I think that's as good as it's gonna
no,
be.
Art.
Art? No, 'cause this is something complete. I don't even know what it would be.
If there was like a survival, I feel like if there's some kind of like survival
track
style
is
roll,
the survival. The survival is not a skill.
but you know what I mean. Like I feel like
Yeah.
that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, we don't have like a surgery option. So yeah, just roll your machete.
Please don't cut him in half.
37 out of 60.
All right. So you successfully start cutting little pieces of this guy off, and as your silver machete touches him, smoke starts to billow out. Black, acrid smoke is billowing out of the corpse as you're cutting little parts of it.
Interesting. I like start.
What? Goddamn, son! I told you could cut him, not burn him. We gotta bury our dead.
Sir, I like. Sir, just watch. You can watch what I'm doing. I just lightly put the knife on his skin. Start to burn.
Yeah, smoke starts billowing out. What? God, I don't even. What did the dang on what? I got what? That. How you making smoke with no fire? This is some unholy nonsense.
This body's unholy.
Oh God! My dead husband is in hell.
Well, I
Oh
didn't say
God,
I
he's
was
unholy.
his body, man.
Oh God! Oh, Satan killed him.
His body's
Oh,
unholy.
Satan killed him. There's nothing I can do. Oh, he's in hell
I
forever.
don't know how to deal with this. I'm just gonna do my thing. I'm gonna put like little chunks of meat
Just ignore them.
in like a little glass vial and put pocket, and I'm like, all right, wipe off my machete, put it away, and I'm just gonna walk away.
All right, you just leave the sheriff completely not understanding, and the wife, the widow,
Just crying.
is a complete emotional wreck, 100% convinced that now her husband is in hell getting tortured by Satan.
I don't know better.
Quite a commotion I heard outside, Mr. Potter.
Well, Mr. That body there is unholy. I touched it with my machete, as you know, is blessed in silver, and it started to burn the body. Here's a little I show him like a piece of I put in a vial.
Well, that is mighty peculiar. Did you by any means try to explain that to them?
I tried, but she was not listening, and as you know, I am not very good with people. So I just walked away. I figured I would let her grieve in peace. I was distressing her.
In peace.
Well, I mean, I wish I could say I could amend such things, but I feel like the damage has been done. I think it's best that me and you, Mr. Powers, go to our little truck wagon and
Meanwhile, at the investigation mobile,
the laboratory.
Laboratory, baby. Yeah, so I guess can I roll my chemicals for the spooky chemicals?
Yep, your occult chemicals, your magic potions.
Oh no. I rolled a 91 out of an 80.
What'd you roll? Alright, so you gather up a bunch of valuable, hard to find ingredients. You just cover this sample with them, and then you light it all on fire, and you learn nothing.
God damn it. Oh, piss. I really messed this one up.
So that was the only sample you had. I guess you could get another one if you want. He's still in the church, but now there's like a weird fog coming out of your laboratory.
did it work?
No, it didn't work, Mr. Powers.
Oh, dude, do you need another one?
Yes, but...
Oh, okay, I'll be right back.
No, oh, dear.
Go right back into the church.
Watch me just roll like 81 plus the whole time.
Oh, excuse me.
Hugo, roll your no.
sometimes I make it. I didn't make it. 82.
So you just walk right in there with all your unholy objects.
What? I haven't even picked any up. All I still had was the machete.
No, once you left, you guys gave each other back everything.
Okay. Because I would have thought I would not have picked it up yet. Oh, well, that sucks then.
No.
I walked.
So some time has passed because Alex has had to try to do the experiment. I'm sorry, I did not explain that very clearly.
I may.
So you walk in with your magic lamp, and a couple obviously evil tomes.
Wait, but I don't read. Why would I ever have?
No, but you carry them around so that like Sam or Alex has access to them. These are like kind of like magical encyclopedias.
I'm more of like a pack mule, is what you're saying.
When it comes to these are just like your kind of catch-all magic things, your basics.
Books, okay.
Right. Yeah,
All
just
right,
in case.
so...
So as you walk in, your lamp lights, and your grandpa doesn't come out, but you just hear him really clearly screaming. And smoke starts billowing off of the books.
Away.
Red, horrible smoke.
I immediately put that together and run away.
So you step outside, and smoke is still sort of coming out of you, but it stopped, and your grandpa has stopped screaming.
Can I see him running to the car? To the wagon?
Yeah, a lot of smoke started coming off of him, and it's still sort of billowing off of him.
What in tarnation is going? Oh god damn it! Did you?
I forgot.
Mr. Powers, that's why he can't be so dang reckless.
I just
in the distance, you hear the sheriff go, "What the goddamn was that?"
I just chuck my duster that has all the books and the lantern clipped on right into the thing, so all they see now is like the Winchester rifle that's like on my back, slung in, but it's the size of my back, so it just perfectly fits. And then just the machete holstered on my hip, as I'm just wearing like the stereotypical like that kind of like red maroon colored like undershirt that you always see.
Okay,
and then like just pants.
Okay.
Just pants.
Sheriff comes hustling up. Oh God! What the hell did that? When you came in the church, you was screaming. Why are you on fire, son?
I happen to have it's a little thing, a thing called like it's like it makes smoke, just like.
See, I can explain.
Just jump in. It's like I love playing dumb.
I can explain this. Oh dear, how am I gonna explain this? Well, you see, the thing is, Mr. Powers, God bless him, he's a great man, but he accidentally took some of my chemicals that I was using to do my experiments, and he got a little hasty because I got a result that was inconclusive, and he was like, well, I'll done do it, and then next thing you know, sulfur got in with hydrogen to make smoke. I'm sorry. Forgive us for the rampant intrusion and bizarre spectacle of it all.
Whew. Well, that is a relief. I thought Satan himself walked into that church when I heard the screaming. That must have just been the sound of chemicals. I see. Didn't go right first time. That's fine. You just head on right back on in there. Make sure you don't got no chemicals on you though. Oh boy.
I put my hand right on Mr. Power's shoulder. Did you not bring the chemicals into the church again?
I didn't bring any chemicals. I only brought the books and my.
Just go, Mr. Powers.
I go. I walk in. Same song and dance. Machete.
Yep.
Carve.
Go for
Crying lady.
Well, you gotta roll it again.
Gotta roll it again. All right.
Yeah, she's still 100% distraught from knowing that her husband has been murdered by Satan himself. She does not know what you're doing at all. She's still screaming that. Like, she never
this
stops.
is-
She
this
does
is
not know
how
you're
I
there.
I rolled a 76, by the way, out of 60. So I'm like, no, man, I need you to understand as I'm like not looking at what I'm doing. He did not get killed by Satan. He was killed by like a monster, which is very different.
Blood is just shooting out
Oh,
of the
shit.
coffin onto
I
you.
look back at what I'm doing. Let me roll it again.
Okay.
Right,
Refocus. There you go.
Oh my god.
You're just covered.
Now, so that Red Dead Redemption.
So when you weren't looking, you were just violently butchering him. Just with one hand, you were like, ah, 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 ah. So now both you and the widow are now covered in this guy's like day-old, sort of coagulated
Oh my
blood.
God.
Yes. But you got your sample. She's not even crying anymore. She's just like catatonic. Everything that has happened to her in the last 10 or 15 minutes has been her worst nightmare.
I walk away. And I leave. I don't console her. I don't know how. Then I
Fair.
leave. That's
Alright.
who I am. That is who
You
I
give Alex another sample.
Mr. Powers, are you covered in blood?
I believe so, yes, as I'm wiping it off myself.
I want to ask why, but it will only make me more furious. So I'm just going to leave it to my imagination.
Let's just say it was a job well done. And
It was anything but a job well done.
So, instead of a sample, Hugo basically just like gives you the dude's spleen,
a
just like
whole
whole
organ.
organ.
well, I thought you needed more.
At no point did anyone say that.
Well,
No
it
one
didn't
said
work the
more.
first time. I figured we could like chop and get multiple tries.
Well, I reckon that is a mild positivity in all this negativity. Because I will have several tries. So I'm gonna roll chemistry again.
Yeah, you get 4. You get 4 for the
We got
spleen.
23 out of 80.
All right, so this time you mix up your curse detecting spell. You hit it. You hit the spleen with it. You light it on fire. It glows a bright, vibrant blue, which tells you that this man was killed by a curse, and his body is now part of the curse.
Huh. Well, I reckon that's mighty peculiar. So I'm gonna roll library use for our library to look up
Yep.
curses.
Mm-hmm.
29 out of 75.
All right, so you find basically your big occult book of curses, and you learn that generally a curse sticks to one place or one thing, but sometimes curses are contagious. If they spread to the living, then the living will then carry the curse and spread it to others, but if they spread to the dead, then whatever the dead touch will then become blighted ground.
Oh.
Oh no.
The curse, for a curse to be contagious, though, it has to be some very powerful magic mixed with very powerful emotion has to have formed the curse in the first place. Generally, it's a sense of great betrayal or loss.
All right. Well, Mr. Powers, I think I have to head over to that church and tell a very, very, very sad woman even worse news.
I'm more familiar with. I think I should let her know.
Mr. Powers.
Some might say we are on a first name basis.
Oh, yeah? Well, what's her first name, Mr. Powers?
I'm gonna just blurt out a name. Can I make a luck check?
If you roll less than 10, you'll get it.
1.
Yeah, you got her first and middle name.
What was her name?
Melissa Joan Jenkins!
Oh, God damn. What? Did you just... There's no way you could have... Did you guess that? Did you goddamn... Did you... There's no way you get the middle name.
No.
Well, it's just too goddamn unlikely. I mean, what are the odds? There's millions of names, let alone a middle name.
I gotta be what a fun. Yeah, we talked while I told her what happened, and then her husband just was killed by a monster. And then she told me, "Oh no, Mary Joan Jenkins, I'm so distraught."
Already wrong.
You just said her name?
I'll wait at the start.
Well, I'm beyond words. I'm ever so confused. However, I feel like if you have such a rapport with her to know her middle name, I feel like you should perhaps come. Even though the wild unlikeliness of your story, there's just a bizarre amount of evidence at the same time.
You're a man of science. You believe in evidence.
You can come. Just
All
don't say too much. Probably. Probably don't talk too much.
Well, I'll let you lead. I'll just be a strong person in the background with which to lean on.
Sure. All right. So we're gonna go. So we head over to the church.
All right, so you head over to the church. I'm assuming at this point you both know to leave your unholy objects behind.
I mean, I've already had a whole thing.
We had a good scare. Okay, so you walk in the church, and she's still catatonic. She's not talking or moving or looking at anything. Yeah, she's pretty clearly covered in blood.
Oh no, she must have been so distraught that she threw herself at her dead husband.
Mr. Powers, I'm not even gonna dignify that with a response. This is the most unlikely of scenarios.
Oh man, well maybe you've never been in love.
Relevance, perhaps. Anyway, Miss Jenkins, what a wildly unfortunate day for you to have, and my deepest condolences, deepest apologies for everything that's happened today. I am beyond sorry. I am. You know what? We are both, me and Mr. Powers over here. We're just ever so sorry about yet again a very unfortunate day. And I hate to make it more unfortunate. Miss Jenkins, can you hear me?
No response. She hasn't moved or looked at you or blinked even.
You done broke her, Mr. Powers.
I did no such thing. I may not have helped, but I definitely did not break her.
I think you did the opposite of help, Mr. Powers. Miss Jenkins, would you like to go home?
Nothing. No response.
Well, I feel, Mr. Powers, that you put this woman in catatonic shock based on all your wild actions.
Ma'am, excuse me. I don't say anything.
Yeah, she basically lost 20 sanity over the course of like 15 minutes.
All right. Well, I'm gonna try and talk to the sheriff.
You gotta remember, she's like a normal God-fearing person. And first, you convinced her by accident that Satan himself had murdered her husband and is torturing him now. And then you carved up his body and covered her in his blood.
To be fair,
and we
I did not say that. That was the sheriff.
Yes.
That was the sheriff.
Right. But, regardless, That is what happened to her.
We need to get her.
So she is
to
not
get her-
doing
we
great
need-
right
we need to
now
take her to a
mentally.
men's clinic.
In Omaha.
That guy's very good at his job.
So
He is. He's really
So
good.
let's I'm gonna try and find the sheriff and talk to him.
Okay. He's still sort of hanging out between your cart and the church. He's trying to keep kind of a tab on you, to keep up with
Here.
what's happening.
I have news that you're just gonna have to trust me on. And it's not gonna be positive, but I think it's the root of the issue you've been having.
Well, y'all already solved it, man. Well, goddamn, you are quick. What'd you kill?
Well, Sheriff, it's not necessarily something you kill, nor is it something that you can solve immediately. It is something that there are steps to. So the first step is a very unfortunate thing for me to say. However, the late Mr. Jenkins and probably all of the previous people who died are cursed.
What, cursed? What like some Satan-y stuff? What are you talking about, cursed?
Well, from my chemicals that were strictly for curses and based on Mr. Power's knowledgeable info, we put together that it is a curse of some kind of variety, perhaps more specifically, a curse that once the body or cursed thing, it's a contagious curse, like a scarlet fever kind of deal. But
oh,
Now this-
goddamn. Am I okay? Are we okay here?
Well, I'm trying, but the issue is that these bodies cannot go into your ground, for if it goes into your ground, it will curse your earth, basically.
Oh, goddamn. Is that why nothing's grown in the graveyard no more?
Yep.
All the trees and grass is dead.
Unfortunately, I'm sad to say, we're probably going to have to do some kind of mass dispel of this curse, or grievously we're going to have to unearth all of them cursed bodies and dispose of them in a different way.
He takes off his hat and he crosses himself. Oh, good lord. This is worse than I could have ever imagined.
Yet again, my deepest
I gotta go break some bad news.
sympathies for you and your entire town. However, at least now this problem can only progress so much. Be it that now we at least know one means of putting an end to it. However, I will say, Sheriff, there is something coming for y'all. There is an entity
Oh, good God.
in which the curse is attacking by.
Oh, good God. The church can't even keep us safe. His cursed body went right in there. Oh, no. What do I do? Do I round my people up? Do we leave? What do I do? The curse is coming. The curse is coming.
Sheriff, you're going to need to be honest with me. Did your town do something that would make somebody want to curse you?
Well, no.
Like, did you run some like
Not that I can
natives
think.
out of here?
Well, sure, but who didn't?
Did they? So how recently did you run a tribe out of here?
Well, it weren't so much a tribe. It was just one lady. She just, she came around. We seen her. We run her out. That's
What
it.
do you mean by run her
What?
out?
Like, how'd she look?
Well, I mean, not like they're people. So, we made her wear an animal skin and we killed her. All in good fun.
Mr. Sheriff,
Aw.
I feel that decision has created this curse.
Well, I don't see how that could be. I mean, this is going on all over the country. This is a common practice.
The curse?
Why come ours done made a curse?
What do you say? Why did what never get cursed?
Why come our normal thing made a curse? Why the whole country cursed?
Sheriff, I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never heard of that in my whole life. What you described to doing to somebody, and I've read many books and done many things. I've seen, I've unfortunately saw someone tarred and feathered, but never what you described.
No,
Well,
normally
I mean,
you
maybe
put
we
them
went.
in an animal costume and you just run them out of town, but you don't kill them.
Well, I mean, I guess if I'm being a little bit more honest with you, we sort of took the skin off of her back and we sort of put puma skin on it instead. And then we run her out of town. I mean, maybe we took it a little bit far, but
sir, I've never
It's not
in
a real
my
big
entire
deal.
life heard of anybody putting puma skin on another human being. That's inhumane.
Well, you here to judge me, or you here to help me?
Mr. Powers, the damage has been done. We need to create a solution to this problem. One of the first solutions would be, Mr. Sheriff, do you by chance know where this woman came from? Did she say?
Mountains. Well, no, she don't speak English. She come from mountains. We sent her back to the mountains.
But you killed her, right?
I mean, she weren't dead when we sent her away, but she died after, I'm sure. I mean, we took like half her skin.
So she didn't see her die then.
No body ain't no dead.
No, I mean, that's the fun. Is you get to imagine how it went. You teach a man to fish, sort of thing.
I do not feel like that is the best of analogies.
You lead a horse to water. You know what I'm saying. You know what I mean.
Tomato. Yep. Well, Sheriff, I think it would be in everyone's best interest to not bury Mr. Jenkins, and to perhaps, what are y'all's thoughts on cremation?
We don't like it. We bury our dead in the graveyard, sanctified by the Lord Himself.
What if I told you that was not in your town's best interest?
What, you mean like from now on? Or you tell me, boy, that we gotta like dig up a whole graveyard of people and then burn them? Because we got like 60 years of dead folk in there.
My hypothesis, or what I would do, would be I would have to use my chemicals to try and dispel the curse on Mr. Jenkins, on his body, and then burn said body, and then, go from there. I do think me and Mr. Powers will have to take a little trip over to the mountains, unfortunately, to find that woman.
Well, I mean, she's dead, though.
See, Sheriff, I feel like the sad fact is that she could be less than dead. She's in fact very alive.
Very much alive.
Oh, boy. Well, I guess I better tell the town we got to dig up a lot of dead people and burn them. They're not going to be too happy. God damn, on an election here.
I was going to say, can I try and, roll chemistry or whatever to roll, the dispel curse shit?
Yeah, you can try it. Roll, your occult roll. No, yeah, your occult and your chemistry. You gotta make them both.
So I rolled an 18 on occult out of 55, and I rolled a 54 out of 80 on chemistry.
Cool. You basically make a pouch similar to what witches do when they're casting spells. And using a piece of the spleen Hugo guy, you put that in the pouch with a lot of anti-magic things. Then you walk that into the church and you put that on dead Mr. Jenkins's body. And immediately there's sort of a and there's a flash of green fire before it goes out immediately. Mr. Jenkins looks the same, but you can feel something. You can feel that it's natural now. There's not this anything lingering over it. And if Hugo were to touch it with silver, it would no longer smoke. It would just be a dead body.
Nice.
Mrs. Jenkins comes out of it a little bit to see what
Miss
you've done.
Jenkins, I would like to gladly inform you that your husband is no longer burning in hell.
What? How did you do that?
With good lady science and our Lord and Savior.
Oh, thank God. Thank you. Thank you so much. She grabs, she's on her knees, and so since you're 6'9", she grabs about mid-shin on you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. She gives you a big, chest-high hug.
Look, Miss Jenkins, very, very light tap on that. We done you a lot of harm today, and this is the least we can do. I feel like this is the bare minimum.
You leave her happy. I mean, now she's crying again, but this time it's tears of joy and relief that her husband is no longer being personally tortured by Satan himself.
All right, Mr. Jenkins. I think we're gonna turn in for the night, and then we're gonna head to the mountains.
All right. Is awareness a stat at this point?
Not hitting.
Not hitting's the one.
Idea.
Yeah. You're not really spotting hidden. All right, you don't need to roll it. In the middle of the night, you're both awoken to a high-pitched, I don't know, cat growl? That wow wow that mountain cats make, you know what I'm talking about?
I wanted to get soundboard, but I couldn't find one.
You're awoken to one of those. It sounds like it's right outside, but when you go to check, there's nothing there.
Oh, so where are we, like, where are we right now? In the cart, in, like, the... Okay,
You're in the cart.
come out
I
of
have my
the cart
little-
and, like...
Did you hear that, Mr. Powers?
What was that, Hugo?
I did.
It sounded like a wow wow.
Sounded like a puma was out there. And if I know anything about... Now, based on what the sheriff told us, it's not just any puma. It's some kind of dead witch puma.
I mean, something of the ilk, yes. Well,
Like what do I see? Are there like tracks? Is there anything like on the ground?
There aren't tracks so much as there's a line of dead grass leading up to your carriage.
I get like a lamp and just like light it up. So like, does it go past our carriage, or is it on top of our carriage?
As far as you can tell, the decay only goes to your carriage, but there's nothing in your carriage that's alive,
Okay.
so you don't know whether or not it's been in your carriage.
I like start walking toward like where the dead grass was.
Okay. It leads you... Right now you're kind of on the outskirts of the town, and it leads you around the town and towards the mountains.
Interesting.
what did you
circle?
find, Mr. Powers?
Well, it looks like either whatever that was either came from the mountains and came to our cart, but I don't see where it came back from. I reckon we need to deal with this either tonight or tomorrow morning. If we wait now, someone might die or we might die.
Well, Mr. Powers, how are you feeling? You feeling ready?
I mean, I've been ready since we got here.
Well, let's get dressed nice and proper, and let's go find us that puma.
All right.
All right, you get dressed and you both light regular lamps, not Hugo's magic lantern. So remember that in one hand you're holding a lantern.
Machete in the other.
The trail is pretty clear. It's not hard to follow. It goes around the side of the town, over the graveyard, which you can tell everything in the graveyard is dead. There's no grass. It's all brown. The trees have withered and are just dry husks. Nothing is alive in that graveyard anymore. You go through it, and it leads you to a path at the beginning of the mountains, and on the beginning of this path, trees have died, grass has died. You don't hear anything living around there.
So, like, are we, like, near the base of the mountain yet, or...?
Right, you're, like, right at the base of the mountain.
I start to, like, track, like, look for animal tracks, see if there's anything.
Okay, roll it. Now that it's a little bit denser of an area, it is harder to follow the trail.
So I have a 70 out of 60, so no. I can't. Losing the trail.
Well, damn.
The Ravenstone, I have a feeling that he does not want to be found. I get on one knee and, like, touch the dead dirt.
I feel like the best route against such a creature is to perhaps try and find a way to get its appropriate vengeance. Because I feel, to be honest with you, since it's just us talking, Mr. Powers, I feel that this town definitely deserves such a curse. However,
that's not what they pay us for, Mr. Ravenstone. They pay us to protect the weak and ignorant.
Well, Mr. Powers, I'm not necessarily crazy about that ideal, but what I think would be best is that perhaps get this woman tiger or woman puma the appropriate vengeance it seeks, and not take mercy on the town, but focus its malice to probably the sheriff.
If it was the sheriff
suggested
who did
to do such a horrible act,
we would need to figure out how to make it look like an accident. I don't condone murder. Having recently committed one.
Mr. Powers, that was not your fault.
I still did it. Still, I could still go to jail for that. I feel like building a jail to keep me in, but still, I'm not too smart. I don't know exactly how we can fix a curse aside from just killing the beast and, burning the remains and sanctifying all that jazz.
Well, to be honest with you,
we're just talking in the woods.
I feel like this curse is incredibly warranted.
I do not disagree. How many people are in that town, Mr. Ramos? How many people in that town?
Now, but
how many are in the town now?
It's a pretty big settlement at this point, so they've lost 30 or so men, but there's still easily a couple hundred people left.
So we would condemn 100 people to this curse, and that's not to say the curse is gonna end, Mr. Ravenstone. It's just gonna spread. This whole land will be bladed to the ground.
We give her the one man she wants, and then the curse is over.
We don't know if he's the man.
To be honest with you, I reckon we have done her no harm, nor are cursed by her. So, I mean, not to say that we're necessarily immune. However, we're a neutral party, and perhaps we can make a reasonable, compromise.
Well, if she's, is she? Would you say she's undead?
Well, to be honest with you, nothing about what they said makes her sound even remotely dead. From what I've read in my books, the Native Americans are very good at healing themselves. They have all of my chemicals, and most of my knowledge is based on their excellent ability to heal and all that good stuff. So I feel like she is better than fine. I feel like she actually enhanced herself with that puma skin.
Like, do you think we could parlay with her?
That is what I'm trying. I feel that
how
we have.
I start screaming into the woods like, Miss Puma, we are here to talk.
Miss Puma. All right. Very quietly and right in your ear, Hugo, you hear a soft, sort of scratchy, hissy voice. It's clearly feminine, but it's also inhuman. Now you call me.
Oh, damn!
Now you have to die.
Miss Puma, it's not like that. Miss Puma!
I do like a jump. I jump back, just like, oh, shit!
You turn around and you see two glowing eyes in the darkness, but nothing else.
Miss Puma!
Why do
now,
you
Miss,
call me?
I reckon that you have been done a disservice.
Oh God, please let me talk. Oh God, don't let him talk.
I believe that you are the victim here in this situation. I just wish to appease both parties as best we can.
You have not harmed me. Why are you
Miss
here?
Puma, dare I interject? I do not want to be any disrespect to you. In fact, I have a lot of empathy for you.
Explain. You see shining claws in the darkness, seeming to float, unconnected
How
to
big
anything.
is this
Ooh,
lady?
boy.
Oh no, it's like a
eyes,
void. Like we just see claws in the void.
Yeah, all you see right now is
That's
glowing eyes and
terrifying.
claws. The claws are easily 6 inches long each. They look as sharp as your machete, and the eyes are floating about eye level with you two.
So,
Okay.
Miss Puma, we are paranormal investigators. If that means something to you, that is fine. We typically are here to right the wrongs. However, I feel that, in fact, to be completely honest with you, you have been quite wronged. And I
agree.
And I feel that, look, I don't know. I'm just I could be completely wrong. But I feel that your anger is wildly justified, but perhaps could be more precise. It could be more focused. I feel that the whole town necessarily isn't at fault for this. However, I don't know. I could be wrong. It could have been everybody. However, I feel like what will happen over time is a lot of innocent people who meant you no harm, or I don't know, perhaps meant you no harm, like little babies and innocent women might die as a benefactor to you killing the livestock. So what I'm offering is, what if I helped you get more precise and good closure so you can move on?
You would bring me the man who did this to me.
In a heart. Look, I heard what they did to you. Pardon my French. Wildly fucked up. Horribly fucked up. I was just beside myself when I heard what happened to you. I couldn't believe it. And he acted like this happens every day. He says, "Oh, you don't do that where you're from." Who would even goddamn think of that? Who would even think of that? That's wild. That's crazy.
Tomorrow night, bring him to me alive and unharmed.
You got it.
And
I hate him now. What was I gonna say? Is it who I think it is? Is it the sheriff? Who did this to you?
It is the sheriff. This was his idea. This is what he did to me.
I'm ever so sorry. So I just I know you don't shake hands, but is there a way that you could promise to me that if we let you kill the sheriff, this all ends?
The eyes and claws disappear, and all you hear is the scream of a young woman.
Oh, dicks!
What?
I can't make heads or tails of that. Can you?
What
you,
just happened?
Mr. Pine? What?
Where'd she? What?
Yeah,
What
she's
happened?
a goddamn puma ghost.
Oh yeah. Okay. Well, so I guess we gotta just bring the sheriff out here. Well, you know what we should do?
Yeah, but she didn't promise me.
No, she did not.
God
But
dang it.
I also don't think I can fight a ghost.
Yeah, we do not have the equipment. I mean, I would have to spend a while developing some kind of chemical, and then even then, I don't want to end up cursed, Mr. Powers. I'm too young for such a thing.
I'm too handsome. But I say we just, nobody likes the sheriff anymore. He's not gonna get. He just hired us. No one's gonna like him for that.
He's a sumbitch. I'll tell you that.
So I guess it's what time? It's like still nighttime, right?
Yeah, still middle of the night. And actually, the sheriff is wildly popular in this town.
Well,
it was like a really good publicity stunt to do that.
This town's fucked up.
It's just racist.
Classic.
Like,
1890.
It's 1890.
Oh, well, people of the land.
I have a very linear and easy way to
I say we
to
just
murder
get him
him.
in his sleep. Well, no, we can't murder him.
No, I'm not saying I'm going to do it. I know damn well how to hit that boy dead. Pretty easy.
How's that?
All we have to do is tell him that we found something that we can only see at night in the cemetery, and then dead. Boom. Forget about it.
I mean,
the thing that I'm more concerned about, Mr. Powers, is...
You might not get paid.
Who cares about getting goddamn paid, Mr.
Well,
Powers?
I don't like that guy. I think he should pay us first, and then we kill him.
What the fuck? What kind of ass? What are you?
Because he's an awful person. He's an awful... I mean, Are you
otherwise paranormal investigation, Mr. Powers, for the cash?
I do it because I'm very good at it, sir. And
Mr. Powers, you'd make more money being just an old school criminal. You got all the equipment.
Yeah, but then I would not be helping the common good.
But then you care about cash?
I gotta finance this operation.
If you need money, Mr. Powers, if that's what it's about, I have plenty of funds.
Do you though?
I have like 17 education. I mean, that didn't come for free.
Generally speaking, you're not strapped for cash at all. As a group, I want to say there are about 20 of you total, and as a group, you make very good money because it's people at their last moments. They're like, "We'll pay you anything, just stop this from happening." You could do a job pro bono.
Which is sounding like what we're
if
doing
you wanted
right
to,
now.
and it wouldn't hurt the bottom line too much.
I do a pro bono for good people. These are bad people.
No, well, we're not doing it for them, you dummy. We're doing it for that poor woman who got mutilated.
And I 100% agree we should do it for her. I do not.
No reason. They just mutilated her because she was different.
Yeah, awful people. I'm just saying we should maybe take some money from them.
Look, if you can weasel your way into
we'll try
$20.
We'll try it. Oh no, this is a $50 job. This is a curse.
I don't give a damn about $20. Kidding me? We're talking about a man's life, and you're asking about 20 fucking bucks. You kidding me? You serious right now? We're talking about the fate of a whole town. We're talking about people getting cursed and women getting blood gushed all over them, ripping guts out of people. You're like, where's my $20? Where's it at? You kidding me? Macaulay
Oh,
just
fine.
beside himself and just starts walking back to the wagon. Just can't believe it.
Fine. We'll do it your way.
I didn't expect I expected to play kind of a bad guy. I've never played such a good character in my life. I've never been such a good guy.
Yeah,
It's fun how that happens, though.
I'm not bad guy. I'm just
Are you
bad
fucking kidding
guy.
You're like, how we get money out of it?
Look it up for me.
Hugo's not a villain. He's just kind of selfish.
That's true. I guess he's a little too dumb to realize. I guess I'll let his idiocy be an excuse.
I'm not
that
empathetic.
Be like, but we need money. Like, for what? I don't know. Money.
We need money. And we always need money.
Because that's what we do. We kill stuff and then get money for it. It's his pattern. It's his way.
It's like...
Alright, so you get back to the cart. You call it a night from there. You wake up the next day.
All right.
Anything die this night?
Did anything happen the next day?
No one died that night. As far as you can tell, everything seems peaceful this morning.
All right, I'm gonna head over to the. Is the mayor and the sheriff kind of the same thing? Mayor, sheriff.
Mayor's not really. He's not active. He just chills out. He doesn't give a shit. No one gives a shit about him. The sheriff is just hanging out in his office though.
Interesting. I think I'm going to talk to the mayor.
All right.
Hey, Mr. Mayor.
All right, so you walk into the mayor's office. He's just sitting at his desk, kind of staring at nothing.
Mr. Mayor?
Oh, what?
Hi, it's Macaulay Ravenstone.
You're them? You're them fellas the town hired to figure out what's been happening?
Yep. Sure are.
Oh, yeah. How's
it's
that
going?
going?
Mighty fine. In fact, how would you like it to be the one who breaks the news that we solved the case?
I would love that. It's an election year.
Hold your horses just for one moment.
Sure,
so,
yeah.
What if I told you to wait one day? And then you get to say,
so
we solved the case and you helped us.
So I just say tomorrow?
Say that.
Sure.
Thanks to the Paranormal Investigation Society and myself, they solved the case.
You got yourself a deal, fella. He just stands up and holds his hand out.
You got it, sir. Pleasure.
All right. You guys are all right. I don't know why everyone hates you. This is a good day for the mayor.
Now, Mr. Mayor, I have to insist. I stand up very tall. I have to insist you do not tell anyone about this, Mr. Mayor. It is of crucial importance. If you tell anyone, I will no longer give you credit. You understand me?
Oh,
don't
I would.
Tell anyone till tomorrow. Okay?
I'm a politician. I know how to keep secrets.
That is both concerning, but also very appropriate for this kind of scenario. So I'm going to allow it.
I will allow it.
Yeah. Sounds good. I'll just get back to doing what I was doing.
You get to it.
Stuff, I guess.
So,
yeah. Town pretty much runs
so I'm just
itself.
going to walk over and get out of the office, and I'm going to pat Mr. Powers on the back. Do you understand what I'm doing right now?
I don't actually know. I think it sounds to me like you're telling him to wait a day because we're gonna 86 the sheriff.
Okay. Now, all right. Now in public places, it would be best if you just weren't so obligatory about what you said. However,
I mean, I don't even know what I said. I read that in a book.
All right, then. Well, I'm going to say A for effort, and you're trying, and I'm glad. Just don't, what we just did, You don't you dare, don't you dare tell anyone. But I want you to understand it's a part of a greater plan, okay?
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Powers, I need you to say it's a part of the greater plan.
It's a part of the greater plan.
Okay, now I need you to say photographer.
Photographer.
Okay, great.
For
I'm
her.
gonna go to the sheriff's office now.
But what do I do?
We're coming. You with me?
Oh,
We're
they just
going
walk away
together.
from me.
Just you guys and they're like, now where do I go though?
Like, I ain't killing things. I'm very confused.
All right, so you walk into sheriff's office. He has some jail cells behind him, just feet, chicken leg feet up on his desk, smoking a cigar. He's all gut.
Hey,
He's all gut and
hey
chest.
Sheriff, might have found realization this morning, huh?
What are you talking? Wait, what happened? What happened this morning?
Well,
It's only been days. Sun only rose like a couple hours ago.
but what happens typically when you wake up in the morning, Mr. Sheriff?
Oh, I guess lately someone's dead, but no one come in say anyone dead. Oh, I see what's happening. You guys did it.
Close, Mr. Sheriff, but not quite.
Oh, wait. Okay, what do you got? Oh, you just probably got to uncurse it now. That's it. You killed the puma, and now you just got to uncurse
Pretty
it.
much exactly that. However, I think since you're such a popular man, you'd like to take some credit for this, wouldn't you, Mr. Sheriff?
You know I would. Would giving you a couple of extra dollars right now sweeten that?
Why
How
is
deal?
about
it
this, Mr. Sheriff? Not just a couple extra dollars matters, but what would really matter is how about you at night? We don't tell anyone that no one, we keep it hush hush, right? Like no one needs to know that no one died tonight. But I take a photo of you in the cemetery at night, right next to that dead puma girl.
Oh damn, I like that. I'll give you $50 if you let me do that. Although I should warn you, it's all hay pennies.
Well, don't mind that. It's because Mr. Powers is a mildly strong man. He usually does most of our lifting, so I bet he could take the.
That's good because it's like 10,000 hay pennies.
Well, gosh, that is just a lot of hay pennies, sir.
Well, I've been saving up over the years. Ticket here, fine there. I was gonna do something special with it someday, but this really seems like what I want to do. I want to put that on the wall.
So what I would recommend is you spend this day to yourself, and you figure out what kind of outfit you'd like to wear over the dead puma body, what kind of gun you want to see you slay the dead puma with, all those good things, and then just meet us out.
Have a photographer.
Yep.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm a little bit worried about your friend Powers here. You don't seem all there.
Look, Mr. Powers is a very sweet man with very good intentions. His mental faculties, are not optimal. But you know what? He's a swell guy, and you know what? Wouldn't be nothing without him. So we're just gonna, just go right past whatever that weird comment was. And we're just gonna. I want you to envision yourself. Say what I want to look like when I'm over a dead puma body. You know what I mean?
And we take a photographer.
Tuxedo and a gun and no shoes.
You know what? You got it, boss. So, just meet me about close to midnight in the cemetery. Right. So, we'll get a kind of nice shot here where we'll have like the mountains in the background, and then you over the puma body with one barefoot on top of that puma body, you in your nice tuxedo and a gun like that. Sell postcards, get people to come to you.
Well, I tell you, boy, it's gonna be one hell of a picture. I'm gonna be an American hero. They're gonna put me in the history books.
That'll be great for your re-election.
It will be. And it's an
yeah,
election.
it's an election year. It'll lick me
So
forever.
I'll see you there
Just show him that
at
picture.
close to midnight in the cemeteries.
You got a deal.
Only one thing. Since it's a lot, is there a way that we can start, getting this whole hay penny thing going? Like, it seems like it's going to be kind of a chore. So, is there a way we can start moving the loot to our cart today?
Oh yeah, no problem. My sheriff's a little bit like your Mr. Powers. He's real big and strong, but he ain't right. Oh, he got kicked a while back.
Deputy.
He's so stupid. Oh my lord. He's so stupid. And it messed up his face real bad. Oh god, he's ugly. Oh my
What does the
god.
deputy look
He's
like?
barely human anymore. Oh my god, he's so stupid and useless. Oh, but he's strong. He'll carry it for you. But he'll carry it for you.
What does the deputy look like?
You just notice he's this like 7 foot, 350-pound guy, and clearly this much of his face has just been kicked in by a horse.
No.
Oh, it's so bad.
And he's just sort of vacantly staring at nothing with his one remaining eye gently
Oh,
drooling,
man.
not moving
Poor
at
buddy.
all.
Undeserved.
Sometimes I throw the hay pennies at him. He don't even know.
That's mighty funny. Well, we're gonna get a nice little, we're gonna have a nice little steak and milk dinner again. And we'll see you there at close to midnight. See you tonight.
All right. You hear the sheriff start berating his deputy, and then the deputy comes out, 2 giant burlap sacks full of hay pennies, starts bringing them to your cart. Then he just goes back, keeps doing it. So you know that they'll all be there by
Okay, so
midnight.
can I do something a little peculiar? Is there a flower shop in this town?
Roll luck.
10 out of, I assume higher. So 11 out of 55.
Yeah, there's a
Okay,
flower
I'm gonna
shop.
buy a nice bouquet of flowers with some of the hay pennies for Miss Jenkins, because I feel like we owe her an apology.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, you just need a couple of hay
I
pennies.
do that. I get some nice white roses, and I just write a nice little note from Paranormal Society. Yet again, very sorry. Hope you accept apology. I just leave it on her porch.
It's a nice thing to do. It's gonna add you some
You
good
fucking
karma.
gutted her husband.
I was trying to
covered her
explain
in
to
her
her that her
Till she was
husband was
fucking
not in
kept on.
hell. I was distracted.
I mean, holy balls.
She was
Worst
not in a
day
good
ever
place.
for that fucking lady.
Yeah, like that day.
Do you want to do anything, Hugo, before we...
I mean, not really, because I feel that if I do anything, my character is gonna just spill the beans somehow. Just somehow. Just in some way.
He's just somehow gonna
He's
ruin
not
it.
too bright. You know. he didn't go-
Yeah,
he
he's
didn't-
kind of learned to take a back seat on this
He's
one.
like, you know what? I'm not killing things right now, so this is not a joke.
Well, he took the driver's seat in the last mission, killed
Yeah, so
Sam.
he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna be number 2. It's fine.
So I guess we'll just have it be 11:30 midnight. I bring
Sure.
all my photography stuff. I have it all set up. Photographer.
Right. All right, sounds good. You got a couple lanterns. Make sure it's nice and lit up.
Oh, can I roll my art? Can I
So
roll
you're
my
in
art
the.
for this?
Yeah, you sure can.
Don't worry to the.
Oh,
pictures.
bad. 84S61. Not good art.
What were you trying to do?
I was trying to do some
Make an
cool
action shot.
shadow shit going on, but all it is just shittily lit. It's just not good. No one
It's
even knows
just
what
all
I'm going
backlit
for.
now. Yeah, it's just
Just lens
backlit.
flare somehow.
Well,
Yeah,
it's
right.
backlit, but you can't see anything.
Mm-hmm. All you see is a silhouette, and even then, it's Not a clearly defined
Yeah,
one.
I know it's bad though. I'm just like, God damn it.
It's just like, damn.
Just, you try something nice.
I
Right.
think it looks.
So
nice.
you guys are in the graveyard waiting
Yep.
for the sheriff, right?
Camera setup. All
Alright, so you're at the foot of the mountains where the graveyard starts. Sheriff walks up, and because you've set up all of these lights and your photography equipment, he pretty immediately realizes that there's no corpse there, and he's going to make a roll real fast. Oh boy. Slowly he pulls out his gun.
Sheriff, what's the meaning of
What's
this?
going
Well,
on
hang on.
here? You said the pirate was already
It
dead.
is. We have it hiding in the car.
I
You think
don't
we want
see
to
it.
freak
Waiting
out
to-
people?
I don't see. You pull it out right now. You pull it out right
Trying
now.
to set up the goddamn shot. Just relax.
This
Like,
feels like a
photos
trap.
take-
It feels like a trap.
Photos take a long time,
Wrong.
Sheriff. You have to understand.
We're on
It
cruise
takes
ground.
it takes some amount of time to do this. Now,
You pull out that corpse.
what?
Said you pull out that corpse.
All right.
I can't just pull it out from thin air. You have to. Can we all just relax? Can I first have you in front of the camera so I can arrange the lighting for the love of God?
No, you pull out that corpse first, then I'll get it. Then we can try some lighting.
Sheriff, why would I have the corpse out immediately? Why wouldn't I arrange you in the shot first before I put in a corpse? Fine. You know what? Fine. We'll
trust
get
you.
the corpse.
I don't know nothing about photography.
Yeah.
I am getting the corpse of the Puma lady for the sheriff.
That is correct.
That is what I am doing. I am
Yeah.
getting, as I said kind of loudly, the Puma corpse for the sheriff. And then I grab all the hay pennies and put them like in a big duffel, like in a big tarp, to make it look like it's substantial. Like it's like I'm holding a corpse. I start
Wait.
dragging it.
All right, roll your luck.
Okay. 63 out of 70. I'm so lucky.
All right. You're lucky that a bunch of hay pennies don't just come spilling out of this tarp.
Good enough.
Okay, Sheriff, now that we're arranging the body, would you mind getting in the shot so we can take your photo?
All right. He walks up slowly, but he's really on guard, and he hasn't put his gun away yet.
Sheriff, you can keep the gun
need
available.
you-
You're going to be
we need the
using
gun.
it for the photo. Can I re-roll my art check to
Something.
redo the lights? Because I'm like, these lights are horrible.
Yeah.
It's bugging me.
Yeah, you can
These
re-roll
lights
it.
are bugging me. Here's where we throw it away. Classic. Here's
I
where we
roll
throw it
a
away.
99 on the
What-
lights. I just fucking kick
You
one.
you set the lights up, and just somehow you manage to point them directly in your own eyes and Hugo's
God damn it.
eyes. And it startles Hugo enough.
Oh,
Where Hugo goes, "Oh no! Now I won't see if the Puma's coming!"
no! Oh, fuck.
Oh,
So the sheriff knows that something is wrong, and he just points his gun right at Hugo. "What do you mean by that? What do you mean the Puma's coming? I thought that was the Puma. What do you mean the Puma's coming? This is a trap! This is a trap!" He just pulls the trigger, aiming at Hugo.
God damn it.
Oh, he for sure hits. He's got himself a magnum. Hugo takes 7
cool.
damage.
Well,
well,
I guess we gotta kill him.
are we playing by You're not playing advanced shooting rules, are you? Okay.
No.
You'd get a plus
No.
10 bonus if you're within 10 yards. Okay.
No, I know.
Great.
I know. I'm not
That's good.
doing that.
So I'm like,
No, we're not gonna do like the
Like
crazy damages. He just shoots you right in the thigh, and you go down like
I
a
shoot-
sinkhole.
All right, I guess I'm gonna go like, oh god,
Don't.
Oh, okay.
He's mine.
you got it. Yep. Best believe it.
You see the two floating, glowing eyes again, somehow just outside the light. What? You ain't killed the Puma? The Puma right here! Sheriff just starts aimlessly shooting into the night. Roll your lucks again.
38 out of 55.
The
Nice.
Ocho.
Damn.
Yeah, 8.
So 8?
Yeah, 8.
Okay. So he doesn't shoot either of you. He's just shooting in the darkness. And then you see, slowly and horribly,
Oh,
his neck
I
starts
look
to
away.
split open in the front. As he's being clawed open by something that you can't see. And the screams are unbelievable. And they're joined by the inhuman screams of the woman echoing throughout the night, bouncing off the mountains and into the town. You hear him screaming as his guts fall out onto the blighted ground. There's a light all of a sudden, and you see a young woman, healthy, normal, standing there, staring down at the sheriff who had murdered her and sewn her to a puma. And she turns to you both and says, "Thank you."
Ma'am, I just want to
And then
reiterate,
disappears.
we're sorry.
Thank you.
Alright.
Immediately, you can see, even in the darkness, the grass begin to come to life again in the graveyard. The path leading to the mountain becoming green again. But also you see lights turning on in the town.
Thank God the cart's nearby.
You see fires getting lit, and you start to hear the town waking up a little bit. That was a real loud scream.
I run into the cart and I just get like just gunpowder and like
Mr.
and just-
Powers,
The cart is still some distance away, and you got a big
Oh,
old
I
bullet in
do,
your leg.
crap.
I'm going to carry Mr. Powers into the cart.
Alright, make your strength times 5.
80. Oh, don't make it. Oh, you're swimming.
Oh, you're so heavy! Oh, Mr. Powers! You're trying to drag him, but you're moving really
I can
slowly,
live.
and
How can
more
I
of the
live?
town
Can I
continues
live
to wake up.
there.
Yeah, I'm going to just try and get him in.
Yeah, right now you're just getting dragged, and you're sort of helping by pushing with one foot, but your other leg is messed up, man.
Alright, can we try one more time to get him in the cart?
You can try one more time to get Hugo on his feet and moving slowly.
42. Yeah, that's got to get it. Yeah, I have 65. I got 42 out of 65.
All right, you get Hugo kind of over your shoulder. He's on his one good leg, and you're hustling. But the town is starting to wake up, and you see it. You hear people gathering. You hear people wondering what's going on. And as you turn the corner to see your cart, there's a good 10 or 12 people standing there with torches waiting for you. What happened out there? What's going on? What happened to your friend? Where's the sheriff?
Everybody, I need you to relax. The very, very important and heroic fight just ended.
What
As I
happened?
would like
Oh, are we okay? Is everything
As
safe?
I'd like to demonstrate, please look down at the ground beneath you. It is very good. It is no longer blighted.
They look down, and you're right.
Curse is gone.
It's healthy and green
Your
again.
hero sheriff, bless him, killed the Poomer. However, in doing so, he lost his own life. He actually
Oh no,
He
the
actually
sheriff!
saved my friend and compadre, Mr. Powers, over here. He was nicked by the Poomer, and then he took full charge of killing the Poomer, and then the tussling. He erupted, but sadly, but in doing so, he defeated the Poomer. Now, I'd like to draw everyone's attention to the mayor, if they possibly can. He has something prepared. This was, in fact, all his idea, if you can believe it. So everyone just really quickly direct your attention, ask the mayor about it. He knows everything about it, super informed, totally his plan. He's a great man. I know he may seem like he doesn't do very much, but
he does a lot.
It was completely his idea, and although the unfortunate demise of the sheriff, he died like a hero, and he saved the whole town. But, I mean, the darndest thing, the mayor thought of it all. It was crazy.
Mayor's just standing there in his old-timey sleeping hat and sleeping gown, sort of looking vacant, and is like, "Oh yeah, yep. My plan was kill the puma. We killed the puma. And I think it's time to pay these people the previously agreed upon $50. Someone? Anyone? I don't know who's in charge of that. Someone get them. Whoever's in charge, he just it's yelling into the crowd. Whoever's in charge of that, get them the $50. And then a minute later, a guy comes out of the crowd holding $50 in cash, and he gives it to Hugo, whose leg is still bleeding pretty badly.
Well, thank you.
I pocketed it. I start limping toward the cart to get some first aid just to close up my leg.
Remember, everybody, this was my plan, and in the coming election, vote Crumble. John T. Crumble, your mayor, plan maker.
I have a plan.
Puma killer. Go to bed now, I guess, because the plan's done. My plan is done. We are done here. And then he just walks away. Walks right back to his mansion.
Okay, bye.
Well, there you have it.
Wait, we will.
I bid you lovely town adieu.
We will clean up after ourselves. Don't mind the mess.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks a lot. I missed the sheriff. The townspeople just go back to bed. You get in your cart, and Alex try to patch him up.
Not yet.
Oh, that's right.
Patch me up,
Okay.
and then I get in the cart. And I drive the cart over to where the incident happened. I pick up my stack of 8 pennies.
Your tarp of 8 pennies.
Let me roll that first aid real quick.
Yeah.
Oh God, fuck. You kidding me? I rolled a 61 out of 60.
Oh.
Does it at least stop the bleeding?
So you don't do more harm. No, but he doesn't hurt you more.
Fuck. God damn it.
See if you can roll a chemistry.
Oh, okay. Oh no. 93 out of 80.
Okay. You try to concoct something to coagulate the blood around the wound, and instead you accidentally make a blood thinner.
Oh no.
And so now Hugo is bleeding significantly worse
God.
than he was
I'm just
before.
so bad with it. I'm just panicking. I'm panicking.
How much health do you have left,
7
Hugo?
health left.
Okay, you take 1 more damage.
Oh, okay.
And you're going to take 1 more damage for each day you're on the road.
Oh.
And it's about a 7-day trip.
I'll be a negative 1.
You're gonna have to go fast to get back in time. So both of you roll Hugo, roll your roll your drive carriage at a -5 penalty.
Boy. Oh boy. Okay, 79 out of 70.
Oh God, fucking.
So you drive kind of poorly. We're 3 days into the trip, and you're a little bit less than halfway there. Alex, I'm gonna let you try to make another first aid roll. Alex. Yeah, you take 3 more damage.
God, it's 76 out of 60. I just can't think. I just don't want to lose another investigator.
Roll your chemistry, Alex.
This is how he.
Okay, 15 out of 80. 15 out of 80. Oh.
Okay. That's a really good roll. You do manage to give Hugo a coagulant, so now he's going to lose 1 health every 2 days, but you're still 4 days away?
I'll still be conscious.
Alright, so Hugo, make your drive check. Or your, carriage thing.
36 out of 70.
Yeah. Alright, you successfully get there. By the time you get back to Omaha, you're pale
How
and
many days
sweating
has it
and
been
shaking.
between that roll and us getting there?
Took 4 more days.
I have 1 health left.
Yeah. Alex is carrying you in like a husband carries his bride. He plops you down in front of your staff doctor, who immediately gets to work.
I'm ever so sorry. I tried to first aid him, and my hands, I just couldn't control my hands.
You did not do a good job.
I'm aware of that. I don't think there's any doubt about that, really.
Was a poor job.
Was a poor job.
He digs the bullet out of you, Hugo.
Don't cut my leg off.
And he stitches you up and wraps you up. But for the next session, you're going to have a 2-point dexterity penalty while you're healing. You'll be at full health, but you're going to have a slight dexterity penalty.
A little gimpy.
Just for one session.
That works for me.
Yeah, because that leg is a mess right now.
I'll just put like cross off the 13 and put an 11.
Yeah.
All right.
And that is session 2. You have successfully stopped the Wampus Cat.
Wampus. Wow. I am so proud of myself. I've never solved a Cthulhu thing without using violence.
I see. I was leaning hard into the violence, and I was like, "Wait, it's a ghost? Oh shit! Can't fight ghosts."
I'm so glad I killed that fucking asshole sheriff too. What a fucker!
I mean, he got...
He's such a bad
I'm glad
guy.
I got $50 out of him.
Oh my! Well, we
You
got
got
$100
total.
They paid us
No,
twice.
we got 50 from the town, and then he gave us $50 to essentially kill him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure did.
So you have a lot of hay pennies that someone else is going to have to take to the bank.
Oh.
Oh, also increase your reputations by 2. Or your credit scores, credit ratings, excuse me.
What should they be now?
6.
It should be 7.
So we didn't gain anything from the previous one?
We were at 4, you gave us 2.
They should be 8.
Okay.
You started at 5, and then you gained 1 from the last session, and then 2 from this session. So it should be at 8.
I don't know what's wrong with me. You just very obviously did.
Every time you do something
you for
in a way that the people approve of, you'll gain some credit rating. Your reputation will get better.
That was a fun session. I think that was pretty fun.
I agree. That was the least violent game of Call of Cthulhu I've ever been a part of.
I'm surprised, actually.
The most violent...
That was just mystery
The second
solving.
most violent thing happened to the fucking body.
Yeah. That was my
Yeah,
try.
right.
I got goofed.
Things happened. I'm sorry.
Oh my god.
It was my bad.
You just like totally doubled down too. You didn't even fucking you didn't say sorry at all.
No,
You're like, look.
It just left. Just fucking
You're like,
left.
that's just the way it is, honey bunny. And you just got out.
Say goodbye.
What was I gonna say? So it's gonna be. So what's the full cast? Is the full cast like me, Hugo, Sam, and someone else, or?
Yeah, I'm shooting for at least one more person as the full cast, but schedules are obviously hard to coordinate.
For sure.
So ideally, we're gonna do this on Saturday mornings, if at all possible.
I can do this pretty soon. I feel like not this week. I mean, obviously not this week, but maybe not next week, but the week after, I could probably start doing that.
Yeah.
Okay, that sounds good. We can probably do Friday nights until then, or I don't know, maybe on Sundays. It depends all on what we're doing. But yeah, so I'm gonna end the stream right now. Thank you everybody who watched. Hi YouTube.
Bye-bye.